Alright, what's going on, guys? Hey, I just put out my 5th episode of my Let's Play. I'm quite a bit ahead in the future than that, but I've been so busy I have not been able to edit and record, and I'm coming up on being even busier, going to school out of the city that I live in for about a month, so I'm not even going to be able to do very much then. So I figure I'll bust out some videos, and I'll have quite a few that I can at least just upload on command and ready to go while I'm gone. But as suggested, I got a comment on my video asking what mods I use, and because I use about 40 of them, all loaded in at once to be able to make this gameplay how it is, it's not just 1 or 2 mods, I figured I'd go through and show you guys what I have. And I'll probably also be putting out a mod pack for download on probably Dropbox. So, anyway, let's get to it. This is just a new world that I just made for testing, so I could show you guys all of the mods and exactly how they work, to my knowledge. But of course, like I said, I'll leave the mod pack description down below, and you guys can just see some of the things that I do on a normal basis with these mods. These mods are best used in survival. Personally, I feel that they give survival a very good experience, but that's just my personal opinion. To start this off, I have the Origins mod, and just by the way, this is 1.17 Fabric. This was the first time I ever used Fabric instead of Forge. I gotta say that they were both essentially all the same. Forge and Fabric both load the same, they both seem to be the same. It seems like some of their mods handle a little better, but some of the mods that would normally be on a Forge also don't handle as well. So Forge and Fabric have both their pros and cons and mods. This is Fabric 1.17. So, this is going to be Origins. It is a small mod that essentially gives you different perks to wherever Origins you pick when you first load into a map. As you can see, you start with Human, you have Avian, which you can read the descriptions. It's essentially a bird class, an arachnid class, I always say this word wrong, Eltranian, I think I said that right, which is essentially a flying or winged creature class, a skulk class, a cat class or feline class, the Endarian class, which is just an enderman class, a fish class, a blaze class, a phantom class, and a random. You can just pick random, it'll spawn you in with whatever. They all, as you see, have some sort of description, and they give you a couple pros and cons. You can switch between human and phantom form, you can become translucent, or your skin is translucent, you can phase through things, invisibility, but you burn in daylight. So you gotta make sure you read through those, because some of them even allow less health, but something like the Skulk actually gives you more health and hardy skin, but you have like this, unwieldy, so you can't hold a sword upright. You can hold not a sword, a shield. So if you have a shield in your hand, you can't block with it. So if you're looking to be able to get all your achievements, you wouldn't be able to with this, or some of the others. So definitely pick, I'm going to pick Human for this one. Oh wow, I immediately spawned in a very interesting place. Now as you can see, immediately there are some structures spawning, and bear with me, I don't exactly know what all of these do. To start off, we'll just go through the mod menu. The first thing that we have here is... That's a dumbass villager. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is a guy that you can find in a village in a special house that essentially will give you jobs to do. So if I pick the Lumberjack class with some... some emeralds. Grab a couple of these emeralds, I'll show you guys how it works. You just put the emeralds in here, of course, as usual, and you can get a license. A license is just the job. So as you use that, it gives you a little description saying that you've made the adventure. Oh, well, that's a achievement that I get. So you press J and you get whatever jobs that you want. There will most of the time be a bunch of jobs here. I don't know why it's not showing them currently. But you can normally take a job and it'll tell you, like, go kill 3 creepers, 3 skeletons and whatnot, and it's an easy way to make emeralds. And or there are a bunch of other different kinds of awards that you can get, from emeralds to diamonds to iron to just different things. Even enchanting books and other stuff you can get there for pretty easy. I don't know where I put that emerald. I'm going to keep that in my pocket for a second because I think it's useful for me currently. I'm going to pick the Lumberjack profession and see if it gives me anything else. Now accept Lumberjack profession. Yeah, it's not showing me any of my jobs currently. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm pretty sure that's just because I'm on creative mode. I think if I go survival mode, it will show. The next mod would be Better Nether, which is exactly what it says. If you go into the Nether, you have quite an interesting experience, from different biomes to different types of ores. It definitely makes use of some things. It's definitely a whole different experience. You can get a respawner statue. I have yet to see how to use this, but I guess if you have 4 glowstone, you can set your spawn in the nether very easily by finding one of these. And let alone, it just looks quite cool to have. If you steal one, it's kind of cool to have. They added some different kinds of creatures and different kinds of mobs as well, but more or less it just adds a better, cooler kind of nether that we will go to right here. So as you guys can see, the Better Nethers mod adds in quite a bit of different, just a different feel to the nether, from these very long spiky stalactites, I think stalactites go up, randomly spawning chests, new biomes, there's going to be new creatures, new random things that spawn. It definitely adds some very interesting looking biomes and loots that you can get from them. There are different mobs that spawn. It's quite an interesting mob. It just adds a whole new feel to the nether, from mushrooms on the sides of the walls to just a whole array of different biomes that you can now find inside the nether. Just look at the look of this one biome we're in. I'm not even sure what it's called. It is a beautiful looking biome, but you can even see that there's a weird or even forest in between. So I won't ruin it for you guys. Definitely go check out this mod, get it installed, and go have fun exploring the nether on your own. So back again to the next world and the next mod, we're going to look at the Simple Backpack mod. Simple Backpack mod is actually quite an interesting mod. I have yet to, I wouldn't use that one. I don't remember why. I think I took time making it. It does not be, it's not that the better backpack means that there's more space. This one, I think, if I remember correctly, whatever you put in it goes into the void, so you definitely don't use that one. And the Ender Backpack, I think, uses the same technology as the Ender Chest to be able to use your parts around on it. So I think you can put it down, but essentially, it just gives you an extra inventory space. So look at all that inventory. You have not just your regular inventory, but if you go over here, you can also put your inventory in there, and now that is no longer in my inventory. It's a very useful mod, in my opinion. You can carry 2 or 3 backpacks on you, and look at all the extra space you get. They're quite easy to make, being just a couple leather and some, or actually not even leather. It takes a chest, 4 iron, and 4 pieces of wool, just that, and then you've got yourself all of that space. You can make them by the dozens and have a whole thing of backpacks on you. I like to carry 2 in my Let's Play videos, as you guys can see. One for loot, the other for, well, probably loot and other stuff for survival tower mod. So the battle tower mod is a mod that naturally generates these mob difficulty towers. As you can see, it's a large tower that is a naturally generating tower. Be warned that once you install these mods, they will have configs that make them quite often. They're supposed to make them and all of the structures in the game quite rare to find. I had to go into my config settings and turn them all down. But once you enter this tower, you will find a bunch of general stuff that you'll need, and as you go through all of the different levels, which you have to normally fight just the basic mobs, but you always have to clear a level before going to the next one, especially the ones that make you go across the room. You will definitely want to loot some of the stuff. Once you get to the end of the towers, at the very end over here, you'll find a boss, which I actually just grabbed one. It's called a Guardian. This Guardian will sit up here, and in order to get the key to the lock chest, you'll have to kill him. He is quite powerful, so I would recommend doing the old Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies trick, where you run around the tower and just take hits on him with either a bow or get around him to get him with a sword. So that's the Guardian. You can see that the Tower Guardian boss menu popped up. And you just go in there and you kick his butt mod. The next mod is a simple mod called Adorn. It's a very simple mod that just adds in kind of a bit of furniture. You have things, everything from in all different shapes and sizes to sofas, chairs, tables, countertops with a cupboard. There's just posts to make your house look a little interesting. You have basic platforms, warped steps. They're essentially steps, but they look a little bit more interesting. So if you want to I think you can essentially, I have yet to use these, as you guys can see. But it's a step. It puts you up there. I have yet to use one or figure out how to use them exactly, so you guys can see that. I think if you use both of these together, you have that and then half, and you can actually make continuous steps now that I think about it. So that's pretty neat. You also have shelves, chimneys, and these chimneys do in fact emit smoke at the very top of your house. It's a very nice mod that you can kind of use. You have sinks, coffee tables, benches, lamps. You have some crates. The crates aren't really very interesting in my opinion. You have a fence, chain link fence, stone ladders, a stone rod, a stone torch, and a couple menus that you can use, from trading, and it tells you how to do everything, to just decorating your home and what to do and how the mod works. The crates, in my opinion, I don't even remember how to open them, to be honest with you. So that's the Adorn mod. The Adorn mod, honestly, is just the decorations and furniture mod. This is the Waystone mod. The Waystone mod is actually very useful, especially if you're a venturer like me and you find cool stuff that you'd like to go to multiple times. If you find a Waystone, which these things do naturally generate out in the world, but if you look, you can also craft the 3 basic ones, being Waystone, Mossy Waystone, and Sand Waystone. And as you see, it does take a warp crystal, which is quite hard to get, 3 obsidian and some stone bricks. The Waystone is 4 ender pearls, an emerald, and some purple dye. So if you try, you can make one relatively easily. But they are also naturally spawning. If you see every once in a while, you can find a Waystone just sitting out amongst the world, and you don't need any special tools to break them. All you gotta do is place one down, name it. I'll just do test, and I'll name it, and then if I test this one and I put it test 2, you should be able to walk up and you can teleport between any destination. So if you have one at your house and 16 out in the world in different places, you can pick where you want to go. Now, an interesting note to fact to note, I don't completely remember, but I'm pretty sure that since it is an ender warp, you will take damage when you teleport back and forth. More than that, if you look, ta-ta, it does also cost, if you get on survival mode, it will also cost you to go between the two, if I remember. Oh no, it doesn't. Never mind. I'm just an idiot. It's been a long time since I've used these. Honestly, I haven't been playing on my Let's Play world for quite a while now. You can also have scrolls, so if you warp with a scroll, you can actually carry this. Yes, you have not activated any Waystone yet. So if I did put a Waystone down, like this one, and I named it Way, I think I can go all the way over here, and I think I can, and you can go away, wherever you are. So if you're, I'm pretty sure even if you're in the nether, you are able to do that. Next mod's going to be the Artifacts mod, which is a very interesting mod, honestly, but it is very useful as well. These are artifacts you can find naturally spawning in loot chests all around the world, no matter where you are. Even the bonus chest seems to have these in them, and as you see, they come in a very large variety of different things that do different things to you. Like the umbrella, you can use it as both a glider and a shield. A whoopee cushion, I have yet to see and or understand what it does, but I guess it increases flatulence. Everlasting beef is really interesting. If you do manage to find one of these, you found yourself a good thing, because it is a piece of beef that never goes away. It does give you the lifespan of a I think it does give you about the health of a normal piece of beef cooked, as far as I know, and as you see, it has a time that it takes until you can eat it again, and you can continuously keep eating that piece of beef. You also have drinking caps, snorkel gear, which allows you to breathe underwater, night vision goggles, and a bunch of other cool artifacts that you'll just have to explore. I don't want to really go over them and ruin the mod for you, but as you can see, they all give you something kind of interesting, from attack speed to experience dropped by creatures to knockback dealt, everything. They all do something kind of interesting, and they all can be worn just in a special slot. As you see, you can't see that it's on me, but if I go into survival, you can see that there's a special slot right next to my boots. The same thing goes for all the other slots. It gives you enough so you can wear 4 things at once, as well as in this hand. The next thing is going to be Go Fish. It's a special fishing mod that allows you to, well, essentially fish cooler. They have a whole bunch of different kinds of fishing rods that have different effects on them. I couldn't honestly tell you what because I have yet to use any of them, other than the celestial rod that gives you +1 luck at night because it says so. A lot of these fish have different things that they can do, different things that you can eat. You have a couple extra lures you can have, and kept in the inventory provides +1 lure. And this one gives you luck of the Soul Sand Valley, or luck, well, +1 in luck in Soul Sand Valley. But you find a lot of these fish amongst the loot chests. You can have these as well, and you can open these. And it's still not letting me. I have yet to understand why the crates don't open for me. But you do have a lot of crates that you can also use as well. Croptopia is essentially, I think, Pam's Harvest Craft for fabric. It adds a lot of different seeds and naturally growing vegetables that you can find throughout the world from fruits and vegetables. It also adds a lot of food that you can make with those, that honestly these foods, if you take the time to make them, allow a lot more health or hunger to be regenerated than just the stock food, as well as having instruments that you need to make them with. If you look up the Croptopia mod, or if you go over to the Croptopia mod in the in this menu that I have, which is not enough items or too many items, which I'm looking for. Let's see. Yes, I think it's too many items for fabric. As you can see, this menu just allows you to, even on survival, be able to look at crafting recipes easily. And that'll be the too many items mod, just going over it while I see it, while I try to find this. There she is. So if you look down here, you can see that a hamburger takes, or a bacon takes, a cooking pot, sweet potato, oh, these are sweet potato fries, salt, and olive oil, and they do give you quite a bit of a boost. Honestly, most of these are pretty easy to make if you have the right crops. If I were you, I'd pick a couple easy things to carry, like I would normally carry a cheeseburger, which takes just beef, or tofu, cheese, and bread in the frying pan, and it would make a cheeseburger. And I think the cheeseburger will replenish like 9 to 10 pieces of health all in one. So although it is kind of a thing to make, it's definitely worth it in the end. Dragon Loot is a very simple mod that essentially just gives it a more gratifying feel of defeating the Ender Dragon. As you can see, it gives you can get an anvil, scales, horse armor, helmet, and a set of armor. As you can see, this one's winged dragon scale, which I think you can fly with, and or any of these tools, a bow, crossbow, trident. All of them, as you can see, look quite like what you would think an Ender Dragon tool would be. If I remember correctly, but I have not actually done it yet, as you've seen in my Let's Play. I'm really excited to defeat the Ender Dragon because I've yet to see what happens when you do. I don't know if it drops all of these, or if it drops the dragon scale that you can turn these suits of armor and an anvil into them. I'm not sure yet, but keep watching my videos and you'll find out. So the Better Ends mod is a mod that simply just makes a better end. Let's teleport into the end and I'll show you guys. It should be pretty obvious right off the bat before even spawning in, really, completely. You guys can see that it adds a whole new look to the end. The end being, it gives these towers, just from cosmetic purposes. I honestly don't remember if this is a stock Minecraft thing or not. But you can see that you can't just sit there and shoot arrows at the boxes anymore. You now have to get up there and get those. I don't honestly remember if that was a better end thing or not, but it gives a whole new look to the end. And also adding different biomes in there. You can see that that's a naturally spawning warship that spawned in the end. But without beating the Ender Dragon, I can't exactly show you what the rest of it is like. So you are going to have to defeat the End Dragon to be able to find out. I bid you good luck finding that one out. I do have a mod in here that essentially adds dehydration and as well as environment. It's essentially a dehydration and a heat and cold mod. So in cold environments, you're going to have a cold feature that will kill you over time. So if you are in a cold environment like the mountains, you will need to use some of those rocks to keep you warm, or you're going to have to make the wolf pelt armor, or the insulated armor that is here somewhere. I'm looking for it. There's wolf pelt armor, but I'm trying to find it. It doesn't look like I can see it. I remember I could never really figure that one out. I'll look up here, I'll be able to find it. No, I'm not finding it. But the wolf pelt armor does quite nicely. That is part of Adventure Z. It is a kind of a cool little... Oh no, wolf pelt armor isn't. I need to figure out... I honestly can't remember how you insulate armor, but it essentially does add insulated armor that you can wear, and you can insulate any kind of armor, and it makes it so it keeps you warm in the cold. Now, the opposite effect for the desert, if you are in the desert, you will get hot, and it will make you not be able to run as much. The cold will give you hypothermia and start to kill you, as well as a thirst bar. As you guys could see while I was on survival mode, you have a thirst bar now, and that thirst bar you do have to keep up. You can use flasks, milk, or I think just flasks or milk, honestly. You can grab bottles of water if you look at a basin, or you can use this copper cauldron. Let me get it real quick and I can show you guys how it works. The copper cauldron just... Oh wait, that's still not it. Let's see. There it is. Campfire cauldron. You can add this, if I remember correctly, above a campfire. And the beauty of this is that you can put, I think, 4 buckets or a bucket of water in here, and it can give you pretty much a fill up of water, and it is pure water. So you can get your health bar up. Another easy way would just be carrying buckets of milk. Buckets of milk do quite a bit, and it is pretty worth it, but you do need to keep that up, or just like hunger, you will start to die. The eggs. Oh, right. Boat containers is something that I have. It's just I never quite understood or got it to work. It didn't really seem like I could get it to work in the survival world. But essentially, now that it's working now, it seems, you have a chest in a boat, so you can put stuff in a chest. So if you do end up water exploring a lot, you can do that. But some of these are actually kind of cool. You can get like a griffin, the riding lizard, and they're kind of ones that I have. I think these are the mystic rides. These are all assholes over here. There's large iguanas, dire wolves, the griffin, the moth. As you guys can see from my let's play, some of these are actually pretty cool to be able to ride. This is a riding lizard. It's essentially a velociraptor that you can tame and ride after some time, and they will also fight and hurt mobs if they are. Along with a lot of these other structure mods, because I can't find a mineshaft, I was looking for a mineshaft, but as you guys can see, there are quite a few other general structures that you can just see in just this thing. We have a warship, an air balloon, a mushroom tower. A lot of these are going to be boss battles. Like this giant thing is absolutely filled to the brim with hard to defeat people and mobs, but as you can see, there's also just a lot of naturally spawning loot areas, like this abandoned farm. That house over there being a naturally generating, just like a fishing hut that you can go inside that has 0 floor right here, just like any other naturally spawning thing in Minecraft. As you can see from my let's play, this is what I have found over there. And then there's the ships, the normal stuff. You guys have seen my let's play me go through that. So there's quite a lot of different mods that add structures. They will all be listed in my mod pack. I'm just looking through. That's most structures. There's going to be soaring structures. I'm just looking through some of the other ones. Dungeons Arise is an underground one that makes it essentially so you should be able to find quite some dungeons and some other cool stuff down there, along with the better cave system. Here you can see that there is actually a mine shaft down here, and as you can see, it just gives it a different aesthetic to it, adding some different things that are kind of cool, and different types, and just all around kind of just a cooler feel to the mine shafts. You will have a better time with the Better Caves mod and caves biomes. Adds a whole different type of biomes to caves, from just dark caves to, as you guys can see, a ravine underwater, to just all around. You can see that there's kind of just different biomes as I'm flying around down here. That kind of gives it a good look to it, like dirt. There were the ones back there, just little cave pockets. What's interesting is there's actually little pockets of caves Every once in a while you actually find like it's a jewel room essentially. If you find a big, it's just a pocket just like this, but it's not underwater and it's filled with different kinds of ores. So definitely keep an eye out for those. Definitely adds a whole different aesthetic to caves in Minecraft before the Minecraft Better Caves mod came out. That looks just about it. I have some others that I feel like I'm forgetting.